Good morning, grade 6. Welcome to our next online lesson of how and when we are learning to create inquiry questions. You will use these throughout all of the rest of your IS days, so from here on forth to when you graduate. You will be required to create these before research projects, before formative assessments, and be able to create them on a quiz. The process, um, there's there's really, you can find a whole bunch of things out there, but there's different parts and reasons for it. So we want inquiry questions because in history we need to be led. We are creating them trying to discover something. And in order to discover that, we need to set our sights, or basically put our scope on what specifics we want to learn. And if we make our questions too broad, then it takes too long to research because there's just so much that could fit into our scope. So we really want to zoom in on something and create inquiry questions that are posing real questions, okay? Real questions that we can find answers to, that we can, once we have found resources, we can start interpreting and report our findings. When you start creating an inquiry question, you want to pull a few different ideas together and put them all cohesively into one statement that will guide your research. Now, we never start researching, or we never start making an inquiry question to point to the answer that we want. We pose it as a means of um, discovery and allowing the facts and the resources interpret what we find. We are just reading the information and reporting. We do not add our own details. We do not add our own opinions. We are just taking the facts and the evidence that we have found and applying them. So, um, there are different kinds of questions. So you can see here, there's a little chart. There's factual retrieval. So these questions are ones that are asking for facts. Minimum inquiry is like, what year did um, C.S. Lewis die or write the Chronicles of Narnia? There is an answer, okay? There's only one answer, and there's only one right answer. You have to find that, right? It's very easy to start, very easy to finish, very easy to know when you have finished. Now there's personal preference. Um, so based off of belief, asking for your opinion, part of leading discussions, right? It's where we take facts and we start to process them through our worldview, through other facts that we have learned, and through other consequences that we have seen coming from these facts. And then critical or interpretive questions, these are ones that um, you have to take a stand. It could be one or it could be the other. However, you need to let the evidence convince you of something and then stand on that and have your answer based on evidence. And so you cannot say, well, I think this, or I feel in my heart that this is the true and the right thing. That's just emotion. Historically and in history, we do not lean on that. So for you, as you start in my class, creating inquiry questions. There's simple steps to do this, and I want to guide you through that in this video. Um, this is going to help you a lot years down the road, especially with Mr. Jacob. So first step is we need to start with words that lead us to powerful questions. Okay, so there's some words like if you start a question saying yes or no, who crossed or who built the Guadalcanal, right? Panama, America. Yes, no. Who was it? Um, which king chopped off John the Baptist's head, right? Those are less powerful questions when you're thinking along the lines of inquiry questions. So here is your scale. On the left of your screen is, or maybe it's the right, I'm not sure which way you're looking. It is, alopa, it is the least, okay, powerful. And on the right are the more powerful. When you are creating good questions for me in class, you need to work on creating questions that encompass, that take these, basically the what the how, the why, the what if. Those questions are powerful. Your question should start with those ones. Okay, take a question like that. Then you need to take historical knowledge skills. These are skills that we teach you, and we will be teaching you throughout the rest of your life, of how do we analyze something. So cause and effect, right? This happened, right? Economic depression, okay, led to this, right? World War II led to this, right? Cause and effect. Someone being assassinated led to war. There is always a process. In history, we see something happened, therefore this happened. Okay, you don't brush your teeth, you go to the dentist and you get a cavity. It's historical, cause and effect. What happened to lead up to this point? You need to choose which one of these. What's the significance of the the creation of the iPhone, or the significance of the light bulb, right? We got to put this. We got to take what if, um, and then we choose historical knowledge skills, and we take the what if historical knowledge skills, and then we take specifics from history. So concepts, times, historical information. So we say, what if um, um, let's see here, Ronald Reagan was never, what if um, the United States never elected Ronald Reagan? um, what would the significance be on the national debt, or the size of the military, or something like that? So you're taking historical things. That was a really bad example, but you got to take your question word, your skill for history, and then historical content, mash them all together to create a question that will lead you in your search to the answer, diving into an historical event. So what you always start with, number one, is a powerful question word, okay, or an introduction, and then the powerful question word. After that, you can do the historical specifics or the knowledge skills interchangeably. So this is my example for you. I take my powerful word, what, okay, what is the significance of the Great Wall of China during the Han Dynasty? So now you can see I have my knowledge skill, identifying significance, okay, or I could interchange that with cause and effect, or um, you name it. We can interchange these things. What is the significance of my historical specifics? The Great Wall of China during the Han Dynasty. What role did it play? Significance means a lot. So as you're going, and we'll be learning this in class today, we'll be writing a whole bunch of questions, and we'll be learning how to make them to be historically um, or historical inquiry questions. And this is the process of doing that. Thanks for sticking around. Hope to see you in class soon.